right, here we are again. So today I'm gonna create a spawner system setup thing. I'm gonna move a lot of stuff from the third person character I have, and I'm going to move it to the blueprint spawner that we're gonna create. It's gonna be really tedious. Might be a little boring. So, I mean, if you want to follow along and watch some like video in the background or something, I do not blame you. So, let me get started. And I can talk while this is going on, so make it a little bit more interesting. So, let me first go and I'm going to create an interface first because we're going to use a lot of different interfaces for this. I'm just going to create a brand new one. So, interface. Blueprint interface. I'm going to call it BPI underscore. I'm not going to call it interface. I'm going to call it like spawner for the BPI for spawner because it's only going to have spawner stuff on it. Let's open this up. And I'm just going to dock this up here because we're going to utilize it later on. So let's create a actual spawner now. I'm going to do this in enemy. I'm going to create a blueprint class of actor, and it's going to be BP underscore spawner. Go inside, and we're going to the event graph. We don't need to change anything here unless you want to. Like you want to create like a doorway or something for them to come out of or whatever though. You could even do that after the fact and just put the spawner within the door frame. Or whatever you wanted to, or portal or whatever. So we're in the event graph. Might as well do this right now. We created this BPI spawner. We need to go to class settings to add that interface onto the actual blueprint. So under implemented interface, click the drop down menu where it says add. It's going to be BPI spawner. And now it's added. So let me open up, well, let's delete these. And this will be kind of a shortcut if I need it, but I don't know if I'm going to use this. I'm just going to cast to third person character, which is not showing up because this is a copy that I created. So whenever I'm creating a copy of my documents, I have to reload by going into my third person character. So now you see the loading. That's all I really need to do, but I'm going to leave this open because I'm going to need it later. So let me cast to third person character. I know I try to limit casting. Having as an event begin play is a good way to limit that casting. Character something, is it player character, right? Yeah, player character. And then I'm going to promote this to a variable, and we'll see how much we actually utilize this. So that's that. I'm going to go back into my third person character. We're going to find what we need to cut. So obviously the first thing we're going to need to cut would be the actual spawn, right? So let me just cut out the entire spawn. I might leave this here because otherwise I'm going to have to figure out a way to integrate the widget blueprint for the start wave in the other one. So let me just copy everything else besides that, because I think I can easily implement that here. Let me just control X, go into the spawner, and then I'm gonna control V. For this, we're gonna do nothing because we're gonna fix this later on. And when I say later on, I mean like right now. Let me go into BPI spawner, and this is going to be our first function. I'm going to call it spawn. I think that was the name of the old one that I called it. Whatever, makes sense here. So to implement these interfaces, you just drop down this menu here, right click on it, and implement event. And I'm doing this so that I can call it. This is what the benefit of using interfaces is you can now call this event in other blueprints so you don't have to cast. So this is going to be more of the boring part because I have to recreate all these variables. And I don't know of any quick and easy way to do that. Maybe it exists out there, but from my understanding is you just have to like delete the variables and recreate them. So I'm gonna delete, promote to a variable, compile. So I can rename this so I don't forget. This is gonna be wave 1 because you want to start off with wave 1. And then increment it from there. All right, and then I'm going to do the same for everything else. I'm going to rename it the same thing that I see here. So it's going to be enemy select, and this is going to be a integer. Now I'm deleting this, and I'm going to reconnect all the nodes that I just broke from. You're literally just copying everything the same. It's a little tedious, but yeah. So this is actually my third take on this video. The first time it didn't turn out the way I wanted, or it didn't go the way I wanted, and I wanted to redo it. And the second time, I had a fan blasting in the background, and I didn't think you could hear it on the video, but you could, and it was really loud. And that would have just made for a bad video. Trying to get better about making videos. I watched my first video, and that video was kind of rough to listen to with the audio. I didn't have a mic or anything. I'm not saying this out loud because all I'm doing is reconnecting everything that I'm disconnecting. There's really nothing much to say when it comes to this part. But I don't want to like skip ahead because I don't want you guys to miss anything either. So I'm kind of in that realm right now. Maybe I'll speed it up. But then you can't follow along in real time. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do with this. That should be good now. This one isn't. Okay, so this one right here, this is one that we're going to change. So before I had the spawn actor as an actual set location, now I want that spawned actor to be the location of the actor. So if I'm going to get the actor transform because this is a transform node. You can tell it's because it's orange. And also it says spawn transform. So get actor transform, and this is going to be the spot where we're going to spawn the actor. Enemy spawn, just attach. And then enemy selection. Okay, maybe I need to fix something on here. Is that the problem? Enemy select, I have that, it's cool. Spawn is no longer a thing. We need to now get the spawn of the BPI spawner. This should be self. I don't know if I need to get a reference to self here. No, it should be fine. It is self. Why do I feel like I need to, though? Last enemy. We'll see if it works. Last enemy. I want to change this to a Boolean. Change variable type. Sometimes it'll actually link to it, because if I type it exactly the way it's spelled, so it'll automatically connect to it. All right, what am I missing here? Enemy selection, enemy selection. All right, well, I'm just gonna delete this and then attach, just recreate it, enemy selection. I probably could have refreshed the node. If I right click and then click refresh node, it might have worked, but whatever. I just recreated it. So that's that. I think that should be fine for now. So now I want to go back to my third person character and kind of deal with this setup over here. So this is going to be the spawn wave. So this is kind of where I don't know if I want to spawn here. Let me delete this first, because I don't need that. I might bring all this stuff to the other side. So let me control X. So this is all the stuff for like resetting the enemy. So let me move this back over to my spawner and hit Control V over here. And I might mess with this in a bit. I want this to go under its own thing. So let me just call it, like, I don't know, reset enemy, because it's what it's doing. So now I have this the interface here for the resetting enemy. I'm going to implement this event, and I'm going to attach it for now. I'll go back to that. Let me just first mess with this. So I want to set the visibility here to hidden. So this is going to be where it sets it, and then I want to, let me just get an actor of class and that's going to be the BP, not enemy, BP spawner. And then from this, we want to get that reset enemy, because we want to call all that stuff. Wait, what? Reset enemy? Where's the message? Here's a message. And then you want to reset enemy. All right, so that's fine. Let me go back to my spawner, BP spawner, and take a look at this stuff. So let me fix this stuff first. BP enemy select. Let me just set that. It's a new one. Delete that. Attach that here. Attach that here. Enemies alive. Attach that here. And everything else looks like it should be fine. Yeah. Except the spawn. No, it says BP spawner on here, but there is no. I'm just gonna delete this. This doesn't look like the right one. So BP or spawn. I just did spawn. Spawn. Cool. So I have the event reset. I need to get the wave. Because the wave is connected to the row name. So let me just grab, oh my gosh, there's a giant space now. Let me just cut this out. And let me go back into here. And I'm gonna paste it. And now we have this function for the current wave. And I don't think I need to call anything back to the third person character here, because I think everything's going to stay within here. So let me create the new variable for wave. Wave of type integer. Change variable type. And this already exists. Yep. Cool. So that all stays the same. That's fine. All right. So we called it here. So we're now calling it here. So it's now in here. So what I need to do is I need to change for the UI, because it's connected to our HUD, but we have it casting to third person character within our HUD. So if I go into here, I'm going to go into the graph here and delete. I have to delete this one too, because this is the wrong wave. And text, I'm going to get actor of class. Get actor of class. And this is going to be the spawner. And what did I call it? Wave? Yeah. Get wave. Attach that to that. That should be fine. So let me go back into my BP spawner. We have the decrease enemy, right? No, we don't have the decrease enemy. I didn't grab that yet. Let me go into third person character. Let me grab decrease enemy. Do I want to cut this whole thing? Yeah, I'm just gonna cut this whole thing. This is gonna grab this, and I'm gonna paste it in my spawner here. Okay, almost everything went through. So what is our problem here? We need money. Yeah, we need to get the money. So since all the many functions now happen in here, I'm just gonna take the get money as well. Gonna take the get money, and I'm gonna get the spend money too. Yep. Paste both of these in here. All right, let me create a variable for this money. Money integer. Hey, look at that. Easy conversion. I'm gonna actually press C and then spend money. And I'm going to change this color to like orange. Okay. I don't know, it just looks visually nicer. Forget money. Spend money. Whatever. Let me reload this. Where is it? Refresh nodes. There you go. And that works. Enemies alive. It's not pulling from this one, I guess. Let's see. Enemies alive. Let me set this. So let me delete this. And we're setting enemies alive equal to 0. Last enemy. Current wave. WV start wave. I might just do this. Don't want to think too hard about this one. Okay, that looks like that works. What else? What did I just take? Custom event. This isn't called decrease. Is this decrease enemy? This is decrease enemy. Okay. For this, I actually need to create a thing for this one. So I need to go back into my BPI spawner and create a decrease enemy. And then reattach it here. Why did I do that? Control Z. Let me compile. Oh, did I not compile this part? Let me compile this and save it. Go here. Now you have decrease enemy, implement the event. And where do we pull decrease enemy from? We pulled it from the enemy itself. Death, decrease enemy. So this decrease enemy probably doesn't really exist anymore in... Well, it says it still exists. Oh, it's pulling from BPI decrease enemy. So the BPI still exists. So like, let me do this. So let me decrease enemy message, and it's going to be the BPI spawner this time. That should be everything for that. I don't think I have any other messages in here. Yeah, there's not a whole lot in here. So let me close out that. Spend money. So we have spend money in here. So I might make this a message. So we might need to create another one. So I'm gonna add another function. I'm gonna do spend money. These blueprint interfaces are actually really handy. It makes it super easy to just transfer things over. As you can see, I'm doing it a lot right now. So I can just take a function, and all I'm doing is well, actually, let me go back to this. I need to add an input here because it has the money integer as a value within it. So hit a plus there and then type in money and then integer. Compile and save that. Go back here. Oops, didn't mean to grab the entire thing. Okay. So now we can call, wait, did I attach it? No, I didn't. Get the spend money, implement the event, delete this one, go here, make sure this is crisscross because you're spending money. It's now the blueprint interface. You can tell by this little symbol up in the corner. And then we can just go to a third person character, and now we have an event. We now have an event. We now have a message for spend money. Spend money message. This is the one we want. And it's going to work the exact same way, but we don't need to cast it. because that can get messy quick. All right. It still needs a target. Why am I saying get player character? Get actor of class. I'm gonna need this anymore. Okay, well, maybe up here. They do actor of class? Get actor of class? Let me just promote this to a variable. Actor, I was gonna say actor of class. BP underscore spawner. So now I can just go into here, delete that, true, drag this onto here, and that works. All right, that's cool. Let me move all this stuff up. I think that's all I needed with that. Spend money, yes. Still have the condition. Oh, does this condition exist anymore? No, this isn't pulling from anything. So let me get the spawner again and then attach this. Get money. Because now all the money's on the other one. Okay, so that's good. All right. So we did all that for the money, but all the money is linked to is on this. So if we go back to content and then HUD, we go to UI. Yes, the money's up here, right? So we need to change the location for this money's pulling from, because the new money location is going to be the spawner. So get actor of class. Why? And a BP enemy again. Spawner. Get money. That's not the money. That wasn't the money I was trying to get. Get money. Green one. Attach that there. Attach this here. Attach this here. Compile and save it. And I think that should maybe work. So I can go back into my third person character, and if I hit a thing and I hit delete and it deletes immediately, that means it had no ties to this graph whatsoever. So it's a good way to check to see if these variables still exist here, and then you probably need to fix it. Spawn transform, wave. What else? Last enemy, money. Just to show an example, let me delete like build mode. It'll say variable build mode is in use. Do you really want to delete it if it exists on the thing? Do I see anything else on here that's required? No. So that should be fine. So now that we have this, let's zoom this. I'm going to go into my enemy folder and drag and drop a spawner. And it should spawn from that point. And it is spawning from that point. Let me fix that wave 0 thing. Go in wave, and it's at 0. Just hit a 1 here. 1. Compile, save. Yeah, me putting wave 1 up here didn't do anything because it's setting the new wave every time through here. So that's going to be that. All right, let me make sure everything else works. Let me make sure my volume is down so I don't blow your eardrums out of your heads. I'm not getting money. So what am I missing? Oh, yeah, this is not player character. This is going to be... I don't know why that's not an error, honestly, because it doesn't pull from that. Unless that still exists. No, it doesn't make any sense, right? Whatever. I feel like that should work now. Let's see. There we go. 9. Should be spawning the second wave too. There you are. Got me nervous there with that long delay. Let me make sure the build's still working. Yep. X, closing. All right, so all that works. So now let me do something else. Let me go into the BP spawner. And I'm going to go to the top. Yeah, here. So I'm gonna promote this to a variable. And I'm going to click on it. And I'm going to click instance editable and expose on spawn. And what that's going to do is I'm going to be able to click on it here. And it's going to have the data table here. This wasn't here before. Once we did this expose on spawn and the other thing, we now have it here. And now we have a selection table where we can select any data table we want here. So this allows you to add any of the data tables we have into here so we can spawn enemies. So let me create another data table. I'm just gonna Control C, and then Control V this, create a copy of it. And then let me just, I don't know if I need to do that. All right, let's increase the number of enemies. So we're gonna say like 10. So now 10 regular enemies are gonna come through it, right? It's the enemy type. Yeah, BP enemy. So 10 regular enemies are gonna come through it once we drop down this menu, data table enemies 1. That's the data table we just created. I'm gonna hit play, and then there should be 10 enemies, because this is wave 1. 3, 4, okay. 7, 8, 9, I don't know how to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 enemies. And you can adjust that however you like, with however many different waves you want. And yeah, that's about it. I know that was a little bit of a rough one to watch because it was kind of boring. Because a lot of it was me just kind of like copy and pasting and then just changing or recreating the variables. But yeah, thank you for watching.